Let's talk about DaVinci Resolve's new depth map feature and some of the things that you might want to use it for. There are two ways that you can use the new depth map feature inside of DaVinci Resolve. And the first one's going to be from the edit page. The second one is going to be from the color page. But we mainly focus on the edit page in today's video, even though I feel like you have a lot more flexibility when it comes to compositing from the color page, but generally the options are the same. I'm gonna walk you through the settings from the depth map feature, and then I'm gonna show you two real-world examples on what you could use that feature for. First of all, to activate that feature from the edit page, you have to go to your effect library in the top left corner, and then go to Open Effects, and then search for Depth Map. In the Resolve effect, depth map will come up. And right now, if we hover over that, we can get a preview on what that effect's gonna look like. So let's just drag and drop this effect onto our footage that is already on our timeline, and then close the effects library because we don't need that anymore. Now you see that we have a black and white image, and that black and white image is working the way an external matte would work. So everything that is completely white will be opaque, and everything that is completely black will be transparent. Everything in between, like this gray here, will have different levels of transparency. Let's click our video file and then go over to the inspector in the top right corner. Click on that, and then you have the video settings and the effects. Click on the effects and you will see the depth map effect. First of all, I'm gonna turn my quality from better down to faster because I'm doing a screen recording and an external recording into the computer so that I can get still real-time playback. Then we have this toggle depth map preview, and if we leave that on, we can only see black and white. But if we click that off, we can see our actual image. Then let's keep the depth map preview window checked on, and then we have the option to invert the selection, which basically will make everything in the background opaque and me in the foreground transparent, or at least a level of transparency because I'm just gray. Just for now, let's deselect the invert button. We'll get to that later on in this video. But right now we have the resulting map adjustment. And we can adjust the map levels, which basically means we can adjust the background and the foreground individually. And with the far limit slider, we can determine our background. If we turn it all the way up, everything's gonna be black, everything's gonna be transparent. But we can use that slider to, as you can see, refine the selection. Let's say I want to mask me out. I'm gonna drag that far limit slider up until like basically everything around me becomes black or transparent. And then we have the near limit slider, which basically everything that is in the foreground make it more visible. So something like that. And as you can see, I'm now fully white, I'm fully opaque, and the background's almost completely black, which means it's almost completely transparent. Then we have the gamma slider, which basically will just add a gamma curve to the inputs or to the far limit and the near limit. So if we drag that over to the right, we can see that some things here are disappearing, like so. So it gets more black, so we add more contrast. Or if we drag that to the left, we can reduce the contrast and make everything like here in the background completely transparent, and then here just a different level of transparency, right? So let's bring that up because I want to mask me out as perfect as I can. Something like that is good. And right now we have the isolate specific depth feature. And if we select isolation, this will just give us a harsh edge on me or on the foreground, better said. And right now we can refine that matte or that mask. We can use the target depth. If we drag the target depth down completely, this will just basically act as an invert button. Then we have the tolerance and the softness on how soft, like look at down here in the bottom right corner of my preview window, on how soft I want the fading. If you look at the bottom right here, we can see that I have a little fade and here and also here. And if I drag that down, the fading or the softness just disappears. And right now I have like a perfectly refined mask. We can finesse that using the post-processing tool. And this will just help you when you want to select hair and really fine stuff. You can expand or contract that mask. like with using the expand and contract slider, you can make that mask smaller, or you can make that mask bigger and then just blur it more if you want so, or just completely no blur and no expansion or contraction of that mask. In the post filter, just make sure that those fine edges will look a little bit cleaner in the final image. Something like that should look good. As you can tell, I'm completely white, so that means I am opaque and the background is black, which means the background is transparent. So then what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna put that video track onto video layer number 3, something like that. Then I'm going to duplicate this video file, holding Alt or Option, and then left clicking and dragging it over to video layer number 1. Then on video layer number 1, go over to your inspector, go to effects and just delete that plugin or the depth map feature. Then on video layer number 3, click on that, go to effects and then deselect the depth map preview so you can see your normal image. And then let's just use some text. Go over to your titles and then just use a basic text plus title, and you can see that the text appears behind me. So doing it this way will save you a ton of time, like masking out and tracking the mask, and or basically just rotoscoping yourself can be a great feature to some extent. Or let's say you want to blur your background. How would you do that? First of all, I'm gonna duplicate the clip with the effect on just one time, drag that over to video layer number 1, and then duplicate it another time to video layer number 2. And on video layer number 1, you want to delete the depth map plugin. Just go to your effects and delete that plugin. And right now you should only have the effect on video layer number 2. And if you want to blur the background, all you want to do is just go to your effects library, go to open effects and select any blur that you want. Let's just use the box blur, drag that over to video layer number 2. And as of right now, you have blurred yourself or any other person that is in the foreground, but we can just easily change that by selecting this one button right here, the invert button, which will then invert the selection and apply the effect only to the background. As of right now, you just have saved yourself a couple $100 on an expensive 1.2 or 1.4 lens. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If so, please consider leaving a like and a comment. That will mean a ton to me. But anyways, hope you're having a great day. See you in the next one. Bye.